I knew he was dead, and I was thinking, this is hopeless. But I had that realization, I'm not going to accept death. I'm going to do CPR until help arrives or until he opens his eyes. The University of Oklahoma just finished playing a football game against the University of Central Florida. And my friend Jeff, a former OU player, is 6'7", 275, came to my house after the game. He collapsed in our dining room. And so me and two other friends of mine, we ran in to see if Jeff was okay, and he had hit his head on the back of the wall. We got him to the chair, and he was mumbling. He was incoherent. And so I got my phone and immediately called 911 because I knew something was wrong. And we got Jeff to the chair, and he was breathing really heavy, and he was mumbling. He wasn't making any sense. And he just sort of collapsed in the chair. And my wife instantly screamed, "You have to start doing CPR right now." And he was such a big man, it took both of us to get him to the floor. And I started doing compressions. And I knew he was dead. And I was thinking, this is hopeless. But I'm going to do CPR until the ambulance and paramedics arrive. And I started doing compressions, and I don't know if it was anger, I don't know if I was panicking, I don't know if it was desperation, but my wife said, "You got to do harder, you got to do harder." And I started doing compressions in rhythm, harder and harder, and I was mad. And every compression I did, I thought, I'm pumping life into his heart. Jim, I'm pumping life into his heart. And after several minutes, he opened his eyes, and that was just the most ecstatic feeling I'd ever had in my life. My friend, who I thought was dead, and all the range of emotions I was going through, anger, desperation, all of that, it was met with him being alive. And when I think about it, it almost brings tears to my eyes, and I remember how happy I was that I saw that he wasn't dead. What's interesting is I had a conversation with him 3 weeks ago, and this heart attack was several years ago. And I told him that we were doing this, and I told him how I felt, because I'd never actually told him how I felt. We just didn't really discuss it. And he thanked me, and he sent me a text a couple of days ago and said that he'd gone and had CPR training, and he's now CPR certified. The reason I knew CPR is because I had a heart event myself. I needed 6 stents, and as I was laying in the ICU, it occurred to me just how I was lucky to be alive. I'd had an out-of-body experience, saw my grandmother, and came back. And it just occurred to me how I didn't have seconds to spare. And so one of the first things I did when I returned to the office was I had the American Heart Association come to our office and teach CPR. We all got CPR certified again with the AED machines. But what it did is it gave me the confidence, and not only that, it gave my wife, who was with me, the confidence that she yelled, "You have to start compressions now, because you can't afford to waste seconds." When you save somebody's life, you're connected for the rest of their life. And he and I are connected in a way that we weren't connected before. There'll always be this connection. If you know CPR, you can save lives. And I think that's part of the reason I was put on this earth now, is to try to convince people to learn CPR to save lives. I really believe that, honestly.